please don't feel like if you don't know how to do partition by, don't feel that you've not learned something. Honestly, you won't need it. You only need it when you start writing complex codes,
Yeah.
and complex codes don't start until you get into the job properly. And when you get there, guys, you said you've learned it by yourself, which is great. You can always go online and find it. If you want to call me, if you want to call your other teacher, we're always there to help you guys. So there are some things I deliberately, like using a trigger. I'm not going to teach you using a trigger now, because to be fair, as an analyst, you're never going to use a trigger. You know, there are so many things that you once you get into it and you are now getting higher and higher. It's just like you do a first degree and then you do a master's.
Yeah.
Exactly what we're talking about here. But if they teach you what they want you to do in masters in your first degree, that's overloading you guys, and I don't think it's right.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So what I have done here, just 1 second for the other lady that doesn't know this. See, I'm using partition by. What I've done is this. The reason why I've said partition by here is this, right? You see, I'm bringing in phone numbers, and so that's how many times a customer calls our company. Now, somebody could have called 10 times. So I said, look, I want you to put a row number on the phone number, partition it by the phone number, then put a row number there. And then it says, okay, you want me to arrange the phone numbers in some order. What do you want me to use to partition it? I say, okay, do it by date. So the first person that called today will be number 10. The one that called yesterday will be number 9. The one that called weeks ago, in that order. And that's all you're looking for. Do you understand? So, say for example, you have a lot of records. If he comes to our store 25 times a day, and they say, look, I want to find the earliest time that if he has come to the store. Well, the earliest time would be, I need to go and put everything in an order. Once I get everything in the order, then I'm going to put them row numbers. Then I'll pick the row number that I want. And that's all it is, partitioning. Okay, Ife?
Okay.
Okay, so this is, look, it's just writing. And look, in my query, I say select the row number, and then at the end, I would have put a where RN equal to number 1. So you may have seen 25 records for people there, but I want you to pick the one that is on number 1, only number 1. So, and that's all it does. That's all it does. Okay, so having said that, Ayo, you wanted to ask a question.
Yeah. I just wanted to, like, because I've been like studying on my own a lot here, because I'm thinking of so I can apply for a job quickly. So yeah, because we didn't, then I also looked at the CTE, the one that you said you were
I'll
teachers.
teach you CTE now, and I'll teach you CTE and what's it called now, and stored procedure, and those are the 2 things that you need to go and start.
Okay, but I just want to ask
even a sub-query. Even I won't teach you a sub-query.
Yeah, that's
A sub-query is the same as CTE. You can
I
use.
was going to ask the difference.
Sorry.
I was going to ask what's the difference between a subquery and CTE.
They do the same thing. A subquery is a little query that you use to hold a set of results so that you can use that set of results later on. Look what I did here. I used the CTE here to hold a set of results. Then I went to query that set of results. And that's because you see this set of results here. I named it CTE here. Look, I'm going to use it later on. CTE. I'm also going to use it. CTE. I'm also going to use it. CTE. I'm also going to use it. CTE. Can you see? So instead of me having to do all of this all along and we go and retype it down there and retype it 4 times, all I've just done is, okay, you know what? Just one time, get me this set of results. And then I say hold it in the storage and I can then use it as many times I want. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, but then I want to ask a question, because I found out that if I run like a query without the CTE in like in the query box, right? It doesn't run.
How do you mean?
Like for example, if I cancel out the query, the CTE within if I cancel it out in and I try to run that query, it
So
will not.
Just this one.
Yeah. So if for example that one that you highlighted now, right? You have put it as CTE, then you cancel it out, right? Then you now
No. If I'm getting you right, you're saying if I take away all this CTE and I run just this query from here to here, it won't run.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if for example, let's assume that you now maybe if you go to the next line after the bracket, right? If you write, if there you go and you write in and you put in select from maybe select all from CTE, right? From that CTE and you run it, you highlight it and run it, it will not run. The CTE has to be within the statement for you to run.
So like this, right?
Yeah.
So look, that CTE alone, this query alone cannot run.
Cannot run, yeah.
Everything has to be included.
Yes.
So because you've said, I want you to select from CTE.
Yes.
Can you see that when you do a CTE, we surrounded it with a bracket?
Yes.
And then we carry it on.
Yes.
That's only when you can. So you've learned CTE then?
Yes.
Okay. It's only him that's learned CTE.
I know, don't worry, I will show you if he...
The only thing I want, like that I want, like on my own side, is I'll just like maybe if once you are done teaching, I can now ask some questions in regards to some of the things I would like to understand better.
Okay,
sometimes sometimes when we are learning online, might look like maybe you are cramming it. So
can we do this next week? Next week, are we open? Next week will just be for questions and questions and questions. So go and get all your questions.
Okay, then one more thing. Ayo. Like for example, now I get what I'm doing, right? I understand the things I've done so far. Now I want to create maybe say for example, I want to do a portfolio, because I started creating a portfolio with Webflow, yeah, for myself. So I'm trying to create a portfolio, but now within my portfolio now, I want to put like a portfolio project for SQL. Of course, all the things you are doing, I kind of understand it, but I'm not used to do a project, right? So
what if you're doing a project? I don't understand what you're saying by doing a project.
Okay, like for example, now, like I want to have like a full project, like a full project that I started with SQL, and
then you take it all the way to
the end.
Okay.
I don't know if it's possible for us to have.
In that case, you see, in that case, I'll use AdventureWorks any day, anytime. AdventureWorks, like I said to you, is a proper business table. Like it doesn't get better than this. Any company you go to, this is what they have. These people sell, okay? So you can give yourself a project and say, I want to see all the sales that happened between so date and so date. So
can I quickly share my system, my screen so that you see something quickly?
Okay.
Yeah. So you just see something quickly. Sorry.
While it's Xavier speaking, while Ayodeji is sharing his screen, I just want to say I'm actually watching what's going on because I'm not at home, and I'll kindly watch the videos and follow the tutorial later on.
Okay, that's fine.
So okay, this is a query that I wrote because I was trying to like move this one to Tableau, right? So I did like with
others, employee, other details. Okay, so just let me help you here. If you're going to write this query, you want to start with others and then join other details.
No, I've done that already.
Sorry?
I've written the query for this. I've done this already.
I know, but you're join. You put other details later on. I'm just thinking of how the thing is going to run. So anyway, it's still going to work anyway. It's just I'm looking at speed, latency, and everything.
Okay.
But to be fair, everything is fine, and your joins are okay. So yeah, you've done right. Just take this all the way to Tableau and go and do it. Honestly, I'm telling you right now, right? And I'm putting I don't teach people to just teach. I teach you to get a job instantly. And thank God, Elsie is online as well. Elsie will tell you every class that I've run, there have been people getting their jobs. So when I tell you you're ready, I know you're ready. I'll teach you 2 things today and you're ready, honestly. Even updating a table and all of that, you won't need that to start with. But I'm going to share my screen and I'm going to show you update first of all before I do a CTE. So look, Ify, look at this. To update a table, just go and say, update a table means you want to make changes to the table, right?
Okay.
Yeah? So for example, and I'll do an example for you in a minute. So you're just going to say update the table, the database name, schema, table name. And then you're going to say, I want you to set first name to Ifunanya, where the customer ID is number 1. So we'll go and look for customer ID number 1, and it will set the first name to Ifunanya. And that's it. That's all about it. Do you get that?
Okay.
I'm going to do that now, don't worry. So look at this now. I've got 2 other details here. Let me mess about with this one. So look, other details. No, that's not going to help me. Okay, let me do something. Let me do employees. Okay, employees. Or let me do Bomaiti staff. Okay, see, Ayo number 1 is Ayo Omoni. Okay, so I want to update. I want to change that name. Okay, so I'm going to say update boom data .dbo.boomIT staff. And I'm going to say set full name equal to Ifunanya. Is it Ifunanya, yeah?
Ifoma.
Ifeoma.
Mm-hmm.
Ifeoma what?
Ihoyame.
Ihuyama. Did I get it?
You tried, but not.
Yeah, tell
it's
me.
Fine. No, it's fine. Don't worry.
It's fine. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Ihuyama. Okay. Where and then say, okay, now okay, so you've told me you want to update a table. Fantastic. You've told me to change the first name. Okay, which name do I want? And I say, okay, you know where the staff ID equal to number 2. You see number 2 here is Arthur Joseph.
Yeah.
Then I say where staff ID is number 2. Now look. On. Oops.
You not put
Sorry, I need to put it in a speech bubble.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Okay. Then I'm gonna do that. Execute. It's done it. Let's go back to the top here and select it. Boom. See? I've updated that.
Hey.
Yeah. Now I need to update your email address too. And say set email address equal to Ify.ihuyama and I don't if I've not called your name well at boomit.co.uk, and that's it. Ref staff ID equal to 2, execute, and then come back here. Done. Oops. Done. See? There you go. There you go. Easy peasy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then if
Okay.
you can do it together also.
Okay. Yeah, you can do it together. You can do another set here. You can set all the things you want to set here. Where staff ID equal to, you can change everything at once. Up to you. Okay. So today I want to do a CTE. What's a CTE? Like I said, a CTE is just to hold a temporary set of results so I can use it later. Now, I'm just going to write a query. Ayo, give me that query that you've written and send it to the group chat. Or let me just find, I can't, one sec, let me find the query.
Is it the one I wrote for the
Any query that we've written, to be fair. Okay, you know what, never mind. I'm just going to write. Yeah, give me that one that you've written.
For the city?
No. Just your normal query, any query.
Okay. I should put it in the group chat.
Okay, actually, you see, don't worry.
Okay.
Don't worry. So let me first write a query and find the people, select star from boomIT boom data dot other details DBO dot other details. Okay, so that's going to give us this other ID. Left join home data dot DBO dot others on OD O dot other ID equal to OD dot other ID. Okay, do that. That gives us so many things. Okay, now I can then say, look, I don't want all this data. I just want a few things. So your CT always starts with you writing. That's why the reason I left this to the end is it's not a major anything. So I want to hold a certain data and I want to join to another table. Okay, all you need to do again, you're selecting star. Once you've written all your query, then you now wrap it around. Remember, you've written all your query, you just go to the top and say with. You can call your CTE anything with data CTE as, then you open a bracket, and then at the end of it, close the bracket. And that's it. You're done. And then once you've done that, you can now say select only ship city. Select. You can then say, okay, look, this is going to give me all of this data, but I don't need everything, right? I just need a few things. So let's go select cost ID. Select other ID. Select ship city. From what did we name the city before? We name it data city. From data city. And that's it. Execute. Boom. Okay. Select okay, so okay. The reason why this is happening now is because there is so many columns here. So let me say O dot star and then OD dot star. Not gonna make any difference. Anyway, let me use another column that will not. Let me use employee ID here. Let me use what else? Okay, OD, comma. Okay, execute. Other ID was specified so many times. Okay. All right. So this is saying that I need to, okay, O dot other ID as ODID, OID. Then OD dot other ID as ODID. So basically saying that I've used too many other ID and so on and so on. Anyway, so this command needs to go. Let's just say, here, let me check another thing I can pick up from. Are they here? Okay, let me say ship address, ship name, ship address, ship name, ship city, and so on. Okay, so look, this is the, okay, open the door for them. Okay, so this is the original query. See, it brings in just this, right? Now, if I then say, okay, if I then run a CT will hold all of this for me, which is down here. Then I come back to the bottom of the CT and say, look, I don't want everything, just give me just the ship address. And I say select ship address from the CTE. And if I run that code, look at it, only brings that one. So what this has done is this, right? It has first taken all the code from here. It has held them in storage, and then I can go and query the storage. And that's all about CTE you need to know. Now, I can now use this storage and join it to another table, and another table, and another table, and another table, as much as I want. And that's it. That's all about CTE.
So a CTE is a storage.
It's just like a storage. It's just like you're using it to hold temporary data. You're just using it to hold temporary data. And then that temporary data you then use for further use in the future.
And that's just instead of calling it from the table every time.
Yeah. So instead of me writing all the code all the time, I've only written it once. Yeah, and then I can use it.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yes.
Okay. And that's CTE. And the last one that I'm going to show quickly, because I need to go in a bit, is the stored procedure. Lauren. Okay. The last one, which is the stored procedure. Again, so I'm going to send this code into our group chat so that you can use it. You can just see the format. Again, at the end of the day, it's just the format you need. It's just the format you need to use. And once you get a hang of the format, everything is fine. The stored procedure is the same thing. Again, you start with writing your code. Okay, so I've done this code before, right? And why do I need a stored procedure? A stored procedure is just basically, you know that you're going to be needing that query every day. Like, for example, you know your end of the year records, end of the year account, end of the year report, or end of the month report, or end of the week report that the boss wants to see all the time. Yeah? Okay. Instead of you going to write that code every time, you can just write it and then put it in the stored procedure. And all you just need to do is execute the stored procedure. Because just imagine you're having to write 1,000 lines of code every week for the same thing. It doesn't make any sense. So I'm just going to show you again. You start your query, whatever the query is. So let's just say this is the query, right? I've selected whatever from a table. Again, remember, everything you need is starting from a select from. Then at the start of it, you then go and wrap it around, and you just say create procedure, or create proc, anyone you want to use. Create procedure or create proc. Then you say as, you give it a name, create procedure, dbo dot, let's just say order details. Yeah. Then you go as, then you go begin, and at the end of it, you go end. So you see that query that Ayodeji wrote, just that you saw, that's got like 7-8 joins. Okay, you don't need to do this all the time. Just imagine that it needs that code every week. Once you write it once, and that's it. See, that's the code. Let's imagine this is Ayodeji's code, right? You just go at the start of it and say create procedure. Then you give it a name. Then you say as, begin. You see, that's the only thing we added to our query that we've been writing for weeks now. And at the end of it, just put end into it. That's all. Now you execute. Okay, there's something here. Let me call this another name. 222. Okay. Now you just go. Sorry, no. So let me give this 222. That's the name of the procedure. Okay. And then you just go execute. And that's it. Now, next week you've come to, because they say, give us this query, give us this report again. You don't have to go and start all of this again now. All you just need to do, oh, I've stored this, I've written this query. Now I just need to say new query, and I just say execute or exec that. And look at what's going to happen. Boom. So basically, everything you saw here that I used a code to bring out, what I have just done with my stored procedure is this. I have stored them in a procedure called that name. Now, every time I need to run in a million years time, if I want to run this code, I don't need to go and start writing all of these things again. All I just need to do is just go execute that. And to find where your stored procedure sits, if you go into your data, not tables, you go into programmability. Open programmability, you see stored procedure. Refresh it, you're going to see it there. Boom. There. So every time you come here, you just right click or you say execute stored procedure, execute it, and it gives you the results. Another reason why stored procedure is great is you guys are going to be using Tableau, Power BI, all of those things. So I say to people, write all your query on the SSMS. Once you finish your code there, put it in the stored procedure. When you get to the other end, all you just need to do is just write one line of code in your Power BI or Tableau. I want you to go and pick this query from my SSMS, and the name of the query is just execute DBO order details 222, and that's it. Instead of you going to Tableau and going to retype all of that query. See, Ayo's query that he wrote there was almost 100 lines, if not more. I can just execute all of that with just one line. Just one line. And that's it, guys. So I can tell you now, these are the two things that I wanted to show you today. And I assure you, you can ask Elsie. Elsie is on the team as well. I hope she's still on the meeting. You guys are ready to go and get a job. Now, I know that this is an example. I would like you guys to now go and, mess about with data. I've given you databases that you can mess about with. Please go on it, start executing, start querying using your joins and everything. Once you've got all your query together, put them in a stored procedure. And that's it.
Ayo, can I ask you a quick question?
All right, go for it.
Yeah.
Yes, it's kind of like not related to what we just talked about now.
Okay.
There's this platform that I stumbled across. It's something about Monday. So they give us like data every Monday.
Okay.
Every Monday morning.
Send me the link to that. I'll need that as well, just for maybe.
Okay, yeah, but it's for Tableau though.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. So they give data for us to, you use that data to do a presentation in Tableau.
Uh-huh.
You tweet it, right?
Uh-huh.
And you put in there's an hashtag. So I think every other Mondays or the fortnight, I think they review it. So there's someone that comes and does the review, and it's too. So like she reviews it or he reviews it. And like it doesn't really, it just gives you like an opinion of anybody that picks it up can just understand easily.
All right, God. Yeah. What about it?
Okay, now so this data now, some of these data are not like totally you can't do your visualization straight in Tableau because some of them, like for example now, some of like the data I have in one of the ones I have with me has like year and continent together. So if I try to like put it in Tableau and try to do whatever I want to do with it on Tableau, it might tell me like okay, that this data now as it is just saying, because I'll set the intelligence of Tableau to either pick it as a region or it picks it as a continent or it picks it as a country. Right. So if I do that, it will not I will not be able to do what I want to do. Right. So I don't know in SQL now, is it possible? Because I can also take it to Excel and do whatever I want to do, but it's easier in SQL.
So I'll say to you, if you get any data, right?
Yeah.
The best thing is to do is to import it into your SQL Server.
Yeah, that's I want to ask how. That's why
I showed you guys how to import it though.
No.
Okay, I'll show you very quickly now. Yeah. So let's say now I want to import data, right? In Excel, and I'll say to you, if you get any data on anything or CSV, anything, the best way to make any manipulations to your data is to bring it onto the server. I'll show you now. So I'll go into the database you want. and then just right click and go to task. Okay, task will open up this and you say import data. Go on import data, it then opens up a page for you. This welcome to blah 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 blah. Just go next, and then it says data source. Please watch out for this because it's two of these exactly the same that will come out. But read it, it says a data source. Okay, your source, first of all, is Excel. Okay, then you browse to where your Excel document is. If it's a flat file, that's CSV and all of that, you go and look for it wherever it is. Oh God, this is taking a bit of time. Don't know why. Okay, it's taking its time. So you go to the location, the file path where the file is located. Once you select it, the next page will be for destination. Where do you want it to go? Then you say, I want it to go to. Okay, so this one is coming here now. 1 second, let me do this. Okay, I can get this. Let's say this. This data has got. Okay.
Clicking on the wrong place. Open.
Sorry?
You're clicking on the wrong place. Open.
1 second.
Click open.
One second. Yeah, okay. So that data that you had there has got people's names and addresses. So that's a live data. So I wouldn't want to do that. So I'm gonna put this one and do this one. I hope this one doesn't have stuff. Anyway. Okay. So this is saying that my document is not stored properly. Okay, 1 sec. Let me just. I'll go for this.
Or do you want me to send us the file I have to the
Don't worry, I'm going to stop recording now.
Don't run away now. I have a lot of questions.
No, honestly, your question will have to wait till next week. We'll do next week for the questions, please. We will sort your questions out next week, please. Next, so we finished everything. Okay, this is private data. This is GDPR stuff. Okay, you know what I'm gonna do? Just give me one.
Should I just send it in? Because yeah.
No, don't worry. I'm gonna create a new Excel just now. It's just gonna take me a few seconds. Right click on this, copy with headers, give me Excel document. I'm gonna store it again. Now you can see that this thing has been giving me a bit of error when I'm trying to do it. Now, when we started, I'm sure I told you Excel extensions. When you're saving, please know the extension you're using. XLSX, which is the new 365. That gives us a lot of problem because you're dealing with SQL servers that 2017, 2018, and 365 just came out what year? So please be careful when you're using those. So I'm going to go to mine and say browse, and I'm going to call it just test data, right? And I'm going to change the extension to 2007, 2003. Okay. And it says loss of functionality, blah, blah, blah. I don't care about that. Anyway, done. I've saved my Excel. So I'm going to come back to my adding data here. Again, right click, task, import data. Next, choose the source is Excel. Go to where it's located, and it will be in my desktop. Oh God, where did I save this thing? Documents, test data, yeah. Okay, then I open it. See, next. Okay, now see, this is destination. What destination do you want? I want the SQL Server, which is the last one here. And it says, what database do you want it to go into? I say, boom data. Okay, that's fine. And then I just say, next. And then it says, what name do you want to call this when it gets to your database? I can call it test data. So I'm going to change it to test data. And it says, do you want to preview it? Yes. This is what it looks like. Okay. Do I want to change anything? So if I want to change the orders, if I want to change this other ID to a number, I can come here and say, look, a float is just like you're using money. I'll change it to numeric. Numeric is number. Okay. Product ID, whatever it is. Okay. Float means that it has a decimal point. So I'll come here. And so this is you doing your ETL, you're changing your data, you're manipulating it, isn't it? And that's another ETL process you're doing there. Numeric. You change everything to numeric. We don't have time now. So anyway, I'm going to say okay, and I'm going to next it. And it says, look, I'm going to bring everything from sheet 1 into destination database and call it test data. Are you happy with it? Yes. Next. next, finish. And look at that. Boom, done. Okay, see, 65,000 records transferred, and that's it. And now if I come to this table right now and I refresh this database and I go refresh, you're going to see a new table called test data. Can you see that? Boom. And if I run the query, see, exactly the same thing. And that's how you import. And now when you import, you can then mess about with your data. Now, when you get data on CSV or Excel, and one of the things I've seen, Excel people, don't forget that not everybody know how to use Excel. You bring Excel and some people have put a space. They put number 1 and put space before going to the next tab. Those little things can create problems for your data warehouse. I swear to God, sometimes at 3 a.m. they wake me up and say, look, the data warehouse has failed, only because someone clicked on they put they put a number and they put a space. And you know a space in SQL Server means what's it called? A string. It means alphabet. And you can't mix number and alphabet together. Yeah, and you need to go back and fix that. But if you bring the data into your data warehouse, it will show you straight away everything. And now someone says something about CTEs. You can then say, okay, look, all this data that have come in, they've got spaces where they're not supposed to be. I'm going to put them in a CTE. Then the next line, I am going to change all of them to what it should be. Change from string to date to whatever and all of that, and make a proper data from it. And once you've got your data, then you can take it out. So first of all, you use your CTE to store what has come in, and you use the query after that to manipulate it to your own liking, and then you push it to your Tableau. I hope I've answered your question.
Yes, we have answered it. You know, in this one now, you
Ayo.
They just finish this one once because I need it. Like,
okay.
Yeah. So now you put
That's
it
30 seconds. Go on.
So you put it in your in a database that we already have. What if you want a different database?
Then create a new database. It's not hard to create a new database. So look, come here, right click, new database. And I'm going to need, because you're the one disturbing me today, I'm going to put Ayodeji as a database. And that's it. That's all.
Create a database. The reason why I'm asking all these questions is because of for many of many of our guild members, because so we can have this process and so that we can use.
Do we have new members in the class? We've been in this class for how long?
We are not taught create. I learned it on my own.
Okay. Listen, when you're starting your job, I assure you right now, I swear, I've been in companies for years and I've never had to create a table.
No, it's not about the job. It's about personal. Like now, for example, now you just showed us now.
You're not going to go to any interview and they are going to ask you to create a table.
No, I'm not asking. I'm not saying because of
interview. You're going to companies that have had their data warehouse set up for them for years. You're not creating anything.
I'm not talking about all those things. I'm not talking about those things. I just give an example. Now, let's assume I'm doing like my personal work and I want to like do something for myself, like maybe build a portfolio or things like that. In this sense. So that's why I'm asking all these things.
Can I just say to you, those things are the easiest things you want to do. To create a database, just say create database, Ayodeji. That's all. See how simple it is? That's all. That's all. He's going to go and create it for you. Okay? Create a table, again, the same thing.
Yeah, thank you.
Create a table, the same thing. Where you would struggle is when you're having to insert data into the table. Then you have to now start specifying the columns and all of that, which I advise go online and go and learn those things. Those things are the easiest thing to do. Trust me. You won't look, I've given you everything you guys need to get a job. All these ones that you're looking at now, that you're asking, they won't ask you in an interview. You don't need it. You work in a company for 10 years, you'll not create a table once.
I understand all these things that you're saying. It's just like we are using this thing. We should everybody should know how to, like you said, it's one of the simple things. Like we should just know it.
I said something to you. We have 5 weeks. Before I started teaching for Blue Sky, right? I used to teach this course in 6 months. So how many weeks have we had? Proper training, 5 weeks. You want to have everything. Even in 6 months, you can't learn SQL Server. So I've had to skip a few things that are not important and bring to you everything that you need.
Yeah, that's why we have the question and answers,
Sorry?
That's why we have the question and answer. So like few things like you're just showing us, like so that other people know. That's just it.
Okay. So I'll say to you guys, your own assignment, go online, go and find out to create a database, find out to create tables, go and find out to load the tables. These things you learn them in 2 seconds. They are online. You don't need, it's not a big deal. If I thought you're going to need them, I will show you guys. Okay. These are the easiest things. You don't, I'm telling you again, you won't need them. You're going to go and work for Sky now. Sky has set up their data warehouse and they've got all the money in the world. Which table do you want to create for them? Even unless it's a startup company. And I tell you what, a startup company, they buy their ERP, like Microsoft Navision, okay? And when they're setting up the Navision, it comes with all the tables and the data warehouse set up for you. You ain't creating anything. Do you get it?
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna stop here, guys. I do apologize again. Yeah, next week will be our last class. We're just gonna be talking about any questions you've got. We'll discuss it, and we should be done. I'll say to you guys right now, go and start looking for a job. You should.
Your quick one. When is that next week class?
It's gonna be on Saturday. I'm sorry I couldn't do yesterday. I didn't feel too well yesterday.
You're going to add 1 hour to that 2 hours of that next class. So it's going to be 3 hours.
Wait.
Please, can we not have it on Friday?
I've come for you.
This is my own time. Your class should have finished like weeks ago.
You missed some classes.
Yeah, but
you missed some classes.
Every classes I missed, I covered it up back.
No, but you rushed us. So you're going to give us our 1 hour.
You think this is
3 hours?
Bro, next week I'll give you guys 1 hour.
Please, can we not have it on Friday?
Yeah, well, I can do Friday if you want Friday. That's fine.
Let's do our Friday 6:30 to
Friday 6:30. Our last class. I'll give you 1 hour.
No, it's not 1 hour.
No.
We are going to protest.
Ayo, bye. All right, guys. The rest of you, please just ignore him, okay? Thank you very much for listening. Go and watch all the videos, guys.
Mr. Ayo wants to arrest you.
Don't mind him. So, guys, please put out your CVs. You're ready to go, and I wish you guys all the best. I wait to hear your good news. Okay?
Say amen.
Amen. But we can only put that as CV if we're competent in everything.
You can stop recording now.
That's if you're